Hello and welcome back to the Advanced Excel class. This is Trisha Jatyani, and in this tutorial, I'm going to take you through another important newly added functions to Excel, and those are let function and the filter function. Let's start with the let function first. Let function makes it easier to write a complex function in Excel by assigning a name to a calculation inside the formula. This makes the formula more easy to read and reduces the chances of errors. Let's see how does that work and how it is going to be useful to any function. Look at my example sheet here where I have the product name given to me and the revenue that has been generated through these products have been given in another column. Now I need to identify the sales tax that I have to pay from the revenue that I have generated. The tax slab is given to me on the right hand side, and there are two conditions. One is the tax slab says that if the total sales is more than 2 million, then 10% of the total sales has to be paid as a sales tax. If the total sales is less than 2 million, then 5% of the total sales will be paid as a sales tax. On the right hand side, if you go a little further on the right, you can see that I have already calculated the 10% of the total sales and 5% of the total sales just to see if this is giving the correct result. And also, I have identified the total sum of the revenue that I have right now. According to the numbers that we have right now, the sum is about 1.9 million and it's not going up to 2 million. So ideally, it will give you the result as 5% of the total sales. Anyways, let's first start with our normal calculation that we do without the let function. I will use the if function here and I'll say that in the logical test, I will check if the sum of the revenue, which is this, is greater than 2 million. If yes, which is value is true, I'm just going to check the numbers. 1, 2, 3. If it is correct, then what do I need to do is I will have to add 10% of the total sales. So I'll do a sum of revenue again, and then I'll say multiply by 10%. If not, then I'll have to do sum of the revenue again and say multiply by 5%. So this is how my calculation is going to go in case of this calculation that I want to do, which is a sales tax calculation. Now this was something that I have done with a simple if function along with the sum function, but this takes a lot of effort where you have to keep adding the calculation again and again. There are high chances that you might make mistakes while you're copying pasting or even doing the calculation the 3 times. Also, it is increasing your work of typing the formula again. Now you can actually reduce your work by using the let function, wherein I will start with the let function and I'll tell Excel or I'll tell let function to add a name to my calculation. So let's say I'm saying that I want to do sum of revenue. So I say sum of SUMREV is my, or I can just say, even if I want to make it very small, I can say SREV, which is sum of revenue. This is the name that I'm giving to my um, calculation. So I'm going to start now and see how to calculate. So calculation is going to be sum of the revenue, close the bracket. Here, what does it do? It's saying that this is my name and this is a sum of revenue that I have to give the name as SREV. Once I have done this, I am completed my let function here. However, I want to use a function wherein I want to use the name that I have given here as SREV. So I'll start with my if function in the next category, and here I will say check for SREV, which is if SREV is greater than 2 million, then give me SREV multiply by 10% or SREV multiply by 5%. Close the bracket enter. I have to add one more bracket. Here you can see that it is giving you such a simple result, the same result that you got from the top, 5%. And only thing that you have done here is added one more formula, which is let formula, where you're saying that asking let to actually give a name to your data. Now that we have already calculated, let's add some more numbers here and see if the calculation changes. So it does. You can see that as soon as the sum changes from 1.9 million to 2 million or more than 2 million, it automatically gives you 10% of the revenue. And this becomes so simple when you are using it with the let function. This is how your let function becomes very, very useful when you have a calculation which you have to do multiple times inside the formula. Now let's move on to see the next function, which is your filter function. We already know that we have a filter command in Excel. We use it from the data tab on the ribbon. However, there is something called as a filter function that has been added to Excel, and this one filter function works in a similar fashion as your advanced filter works. So let's see how does that work and what is the use of that. So Excel filter function returns a filtered range based on the criteria defined by you. You can also use a filter to get data fulfilling multiple criteria. This function is different from the filter command, and it's not a command, it's actually a function. When I say a function, when you type filter, you can see that there is a function and it gives you the syntax for the function, that is array, include, and if empty. Now this is very simple to actually understand what is that you're looking for in the argument for this data. Here on my example sheet that I have is the order details given for a for the products that has been sold along with the representative who have sold those products, the unit cost and the total revenue that has been generated from each region has been given in the example. What I need is I need to identify or I need to filter only the data for the representative where the names are given in this column. So whenever the name changes here, it should automatically filter it out. What I'll do is I will actually use a filter function wherein here you can see, like I already mentioned, that there are three arguments to this in particular function. The first one is array, so I'm going to pick up the whole database, comma. The second is the include. Now what is include? Include is your logical test that you have to give. Just like we have in a function where you give a logical test, here also you will have to give a logical test where, however, it is a little different when it comes to logical test here because I'm going to give a full range here. So I'm going to check in the representative column if it is equal to the representative name which is given in this cell. If yes, it's fine. If this is empty, that means if I don't find Jones in this, then what do I want? Do I not want to give anything? That means it will just give you a blank data, nothing at all. Or do you want something to be shown? So I'm going to say I want to see no records found, or just say no records or no data. Whatever you feel like showing there, you can actually put it in the last argument, which is if empty. Close the bracket, enter. You will see that just like your normal filter function, it looks at the data and gives you the result and filters the data accordingly. Now, you might see that this is showing in numbers. That is only because it has not been formatted properly in dates. So we can always format that. We have already seen it, how that works. So we are just going to change that into the date format. And here you go with the dates as well. So this was a very simple way to check. Now let me put some other name which is not there in that data. So you can see that it shows us no record. So how is this useful as compared to the filter function you have? The filter command that you have. The filter command can actually work when you actually filter it every time. But every time there is a change in the requirement, it will not automatically check here. So if there is a change in the requirement, it will automatically check for the new data and give you the result according to your requirement. You don't have to keep on doing the filter every time. So it becomes very, very simple to check when you have a new requirement coming up. Now, coming back to the compatibility or in which Excel version is it available? Again, just like your XLOOKUP and the XMatch function, unfortunately, it is not available in 2019 or the previous versions of Excel. It is only available in the 365 version of Excel, assuming that it is going to come in the next version of Excel when it comes out. Otherwise, if you have 365, you will be able to use it. Until then, you can actually try and look at this video and get a hang of it, or just download 365 so that you can use that function. So all the XLOOKUP, XMatch, let function, and the filter functions all are available in the 365 version of Excel. Keep watching for more of such tutorials. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial as well. Thank you. Bye.